Alrighty, hey traders, John Howell here. We're going to be looking at the short term, or we're going to be looking at a lot of things actually in today's update for you. We'll be looking at probably the short term analysis, so short term technical analysis, some short term technical levels we should be focusing on this week when it comes to the main indices, Russell, Nasdaq, stuff like that. S&P 500, looking at gold, silver, stuff like that. What are the technical analysis telling us from there? Plus, also going to be looking at the fear and greed index, the bond yield curve, the inflation rates, and also when I believe there is going to be one of the greatest buying opportunities for us, and that's actually coming pretty soon. So I'm going to talk about, there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to talk about in this video, so let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, I am about to take down, see that trading course there, that trading course there right there, guys. I've actually been giving away free membership access to that. I'm about to take that down and start charging for it again. If you want that, first link in the description, guys. Make sure you go get access to that right now. So I want to start off with some short-term technical analysis, okay? Some short-term TA. And then I'll get into some other things as well too. I'm just going to go through this video today, okay? So actually, before I do start, guys, I want to just a quick little couple of minute thing about you and your trading, okay? With you and your trading, if you've been trading now for a couple of years in the market, it's okay to not fully get it yet, okay? Because it does take quite a bit of time to filter through all the bullshit that's actually in the marketplace this day to get to the truth about how to really get ahead in the markets. Because the fact of the matter is, and the truth of the matter is trade in the market is a difficult and hard thing. There's no way around that. Now, we can have edges, right? So you can have an edge, but the difficult thing, right, is not really having an edge. The difficult thing is us as humans, right? Because if I give you a really successful trading system that's going to make a profit 8 times out of 10, would you be happy with that? Yeah. Okay, cool. Now, what happens if you don't have a trade for 2 weeks? Oh, now you start to get impatient. See what I'm saying? It's the other things that really makes a trader. It's not the system really. It's your impatience, right? It's you wanting to trade when it doesn't meet your rules. It's your lack of consistency, right? Your lack of discipline, stuff like that. And so, as you're going through your trading and as you're going through to become a good trader, there are some things in our life that we really need to learn in order to become a good trader. And especially in this day and age, we don't actually have that. You know what I mean? Well, a lot of people don't have that. And that's one of them is patience, right? Having patience. And, you know, and patience simply means that sometimes we have to wait quite a bit of time for a good trade to come around. You know what I mean? Some people want to trade all the time, and you can have more trades than not. But it's one of those things is just patience, right? And every successful trader knows that they go through a period of time. Like me, my maximum time this year has been 6 weeks. I've had 6 weeks with no trades, right? 6 weeks with no trades. So I'm going to share that with you, that on the back of you doing your trading is that that it is a difficult thing, but the most difficult thing in trading is us as a person, not the market. Or it's not the market. The market never gets us. It's us that gets us. We're not reading the market properly. We're not understanding the market properly. Okay. So anyway, let's get into some of the short-term TA stuff. Let's go look at the S&P 500. So the S&P 500 on the analysis here, we can see it pretty much almost got to that resistance level. It actually smack right on that 4,600 level. We're looking at the daily chart now. So for 4,600 level, and then it completely rejected that level through there. Now, if I go down and have a look at, let's see through here. So if I go down and have a look at the hourly charts, we can see the hourly chart is starting to slowly roll over as well too. So we can see here that we're on the S&P 500, we're rolling over. We've got sort of like a possible, like a big, is this a head and shoulder formation? Big head and shoulder formation across the hourly charts. And if so, then the neckline, how you would draw the neckline for this type of head and shoulder would be something like Let's do that again. Something like that. Or maybe something like that, right? So it'll be something like that through there, because it's more like a leaning head and shoulder, right? So you got it's more like this, right? And then you got the shoulder, the head, the shoulder, and then it does something like that, right? So if we can, there we go. That's what I was looking for, right? And then we got see that? So we got that through there, and then that through there, right? So so that's what we're seeing through there, but just bear in mind that we still are in a very big, strong upward market. So that's the hourly chart there on that there, and that could be head and shoulder, which starts to roll over through here. But when we start to look at, say, the 4-hour chart, the 4-hour chart simply tells us that we're in a very strong bull market, right? And as you can see, one of the best things when you're doing your trading is looking at the higher time frame. So if you trade the smaller time frame, say 5-minute charts, 15-minute charts, stuff like that, always be looking at a higher time frame, say the hourly chart or even the 4-hour chart, to get a really good gauge on what's happening there. And the reason why is because if we're looking for an upward trend, right, this could just be a pullback. Now, what actually is a pullback, right? Well, a pullback is this, right? So we have a move up like this, and then we have a pullback, right? That's what the market does. That's fundamental laws of how the market does. You know, unfortunately, a lot of people buy up here, then the market turns around, they say the market's rigged. I'm like, no, you do know the market's going to have a pullback soon, right? The market does, you know, go up and down, up and down, up and down. It doesn't just keep going up. If you bought when the market went up, the market goes up 20%, then you buy, and the market has a drop down. No, the market's not rigged. You're just a shit trader because you're getting in completely at the wrong time from that level there. Okay, and then the market goes up, and then we have a pullback, right? So the question is this just a pullback? So right now, yes, it is, right? In the big picture things. So that hourly chart where we have the head and shoulder formation, if we get something like this on the hourly chart like that, see how we're still in what? We're still in a big move up, and we're still in a move down from there to there. Make sense? So we're still in this very strong upward move from here. Okay, a very, 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 very strong upward move from here. And so that's the reason why, like, whenever we trade the smaller time frame charts, it's important to understand where are we in the big picture of things. Is this just an overall pullback before potentially go up? And if so, you wouldn't expect a big move. Do you see what I'm saying there? Because if you, as we see, like, see this period through here, and this period through here, right? This is a 4-hour chart here, right? This actually happened over a couple of day period. If you're trying to short the stock market or short the market here, but the overall trend is still what? Still up, then guess what? This is just a pullback. You wouldn't expect a really big long-term move, right? If you did get in the back of your mind, you'd be saying this is probably only going to be a short-term trade, a short-term move, get in, get out quickly. You wouldn't, there's not a probability of it having a big move. Why? Because it's actually, you're trading the pullback here. Makes sense in that big picture. That's the reason why we always go to the big picture. So if you're if you do have a trade through here on the 5-minute chart or the 2-minute chart, you see what I'm saying there? Okay. And so is it just the pullback, right? So we look at this here, up, down, and then we look at this here, we have a pullback and then back up again. See what I'm saying through this? So we've had higher lows all the way up. So this just could just be another pullback before we get going again. So if we do start to see a bit of a drop to the downside, we do actually there is a bit of strong level of support around that 4,500 level if we do start to get sort of headed up on the downside. And the 50% Fibonacci levels that we're looking for here. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. There we go. That one there. Right. So the 50% level is actually around, that 50 to 60% level on the Fibonacci is around that 4,500 level. So that's where, if we go to the hourly chart now, if we do start to get a rolling over effect, you could possibly expect to move down towards this level through here somewhere. And if it is going to bounce, then it'll bounce here and then it'll continue back up, right? So we could get a sort of a 50% retracement level from there to there. So that's what I'm seeing there on the S&P 500 from there. Let's go look at the Dow. The Dow is again, traders, we can no longer say the stock market is, right? The stock market's bullish. Really? No, right? It's all over the place, right? It's like it's like the Dow has just broken out. The S&P has been breaking out. Nasdaq's in a massive bubble. And what's going on with Russell? That's right. So, but look at this here, right? Look at this here. Up, pullback, up, pullback, up, right? So we could see that that's what we're getting through there from that perspective. And so we're getting this move, and we've actually had a big breaking out of this level through here. So this is actually a pretty strong breakout as well too. So right now, looking at the Dow short term, guys, is actually really strong right now. If we have a look at, say, some support and resistance levels, there possibly is, there's actually definitely something going on through there, maybe even up through there as well too. So we definitely have a couple of levels of support and resistance going on through here, as you can see, right, all through here. So all through those levels through there, that just above that are resistance levels. But that being said, guys, we are in a, what we're at. We are now in an upward trend, right? We're in a very strong upward trend, actually, for that matter. So if I bring on the hooray right now from there to there, let's actually bring it from there to there, right? So we're now actually in a bit of a nice upward channel. We did actually break out, and if you notice this level, look at this here, from that there to that there. Notice how we came down, found support, and then we actually brought it back up, right? And so now we actually, and there's actually a lot of lines here, but if I just take some of these lines off, actually that last little level is right there, that last little resistance back here. So yeah, so we could get a bit more upside coming out of the Dow Jones. Actually, the Dow Jones is actually not that far from the high. Isn't that amazing, guys? Out of all the stuff that we've been through in the last couple of years, and the Dow Jones is almost making a new high. So is the S&P 500. This is the reason why, guys, you can never trade the farts. No, they stink. Trade the charts. No farts, charts. Okay? Don't worry. I'm just laughing because the other day I saw a cat video on YouTube. I was sitting there just having a bit of a downtime, and I was watching a cat video, right? And the cat was smelling the other cat, and the cat in front farted, and the cat came up with this face like, "What the hell did you just do?" Anyway, back to my original schedule. That's what I do in my downtime. I watch cat video, guys. That's the reason why I was just thinking about like farts, because that look on the cat's face when the cat in front farted, and as the cat behind was smelling his ass. Anyway, so that's what we're looking at through there. Let's go look at the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is in. I believe right now, looking at the Nasdaq, we could be seeing possibly the top in the Nasdaq. Right now, we did get this one push and then one last little push to the upside. So I do believe that we've probably got the top is in right now out of this level through here. So we definitely got that level through there going on. We definitely got that one last little push to the upside. We're in a really extended, still in a really big extended move to the upside. So I wouldn't be too surprised to see the Nasdaq having a really big pullback now. We could possibly start to see this thing come back down to, yeah, look at this here. Look at this. See this thing just rolling over. Look at that there. Completely, yeah, look at that. Look at that. Completely rolling over, right? Completely rolling over. Down, come down, up. Looking at the 4-hour chart as well too. Yeah, so I wouldn't be too surprised, guys, to see the Nasdaq start to really sell off quite strongly. Moving now through to the rest of probably the next couple of months to really get back down to these levels through here. So let's look at where the 52 is right now. Okay, cool. So we could quite possibly even just get a move back down towards this 52 through here, back down through to there, and then possibly even just go sideways for a bit to develop a bit of time from there, as in like a bit of a resting phase. And then the last off the rank, which is the Russell. Let's take the moving average off the screen, right? If we have a look at the Russell, we can see the Russell indeed has definitely been obviously quite strong, but we're still really overall, if we look at the Russell, right, the Russell still overall is still stuck in this overall sort of sideways movement from here, as you can see, right? So there's there's a real big breakout that's coming out of the Russell here. Nothing really too much to tell about the Russell here, but again, we really need to start to see where this thing's going to trend. We look at this weekly chart, and that's what we're seeing there from a weekly chart perspective. Again, not real. There's not, and you can hear my voice, right? There's nothing really too clear here. No one really in control when it comes to the Russell of things as well too. Let's go look at oil. Oil is one of these markets, guys, that I truly believe we're about to see a really big breakout soon. I really do believe that we're about to see that level through there. Yeah, we've been coming down very, 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 very slowly through here. So we're about to make this one market is about to make a really big move. I don't know whether it's going to be up or down, but we do have a few levels through here. That'll be that level there around the 80 level, and then the next level would be around that sort of 64 level, somewhere around about there. So this is the whole area really, if I'm looking at that, and then possibly up through there. So see this whole area through here. We've been going really sideways for the last sort of couple of years, so last sort of maybe almost 12 months there, right? But we've been coming down very, very, very slowly. We haven't been coming down a lot. So what's going to happen here is this one market here, guys, we want to be keeping an eye on. If you do trade futures, for me personally, I'm going to be really keeping an eye on the oil, because I do believe we could start to possibly get some really big moves coming out of oil, right? So we may even have like a level through there somewhere. This may be just up a bit more from there to there, possibly even that level there, right? So we're definitely stuck in this sideways range, but over the next couple of months, guys, when oil does start to break, we'll probably have some really big moves. So I'm going to be watching the 4-hour charts. I'm going to be especially watching the hourly charts as well too, to see if we can get some really good setups here, because there will be some really, 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 really good high quality setups that are going to come around from this level here. And this is the best thing, guys, when it comes down to your trading as well, right, is just knowing what to look for, right? So I'm not guessing. I'm not saying, well, should I be in now? Should I be out now? Like I have an exact setup that I look for, right? The exact setup that I use, step-by-step checklist, and so on and so forth. So if you actually do need help with your trading, guys, then that's second link in the description there. Click on that, and you can apply to be part of my Inner Circle coaching program. It's closed off. It's application only. And if you want to be part of my Inner Circle, where you actually get my scanner, you get me coaching you every day and stuff like that, then if you really do need help, then that second link in the description, guys, click on that, go fill out the application form, and I'll personally call you to see if you're a good fit for the coaching, and again, I could talk to you from there. But it's so important that you know what you are looking for, right? I'm not looking for I'm not going to market saying, right, I'm just looking for something that looks good. No, that's the big mistake, right? Big mistake. No matter what market, if I'm looking at the S&P 500, or I'm looking at the stocks, or I'm looking at stuff like that, if I'm looking for a trading opportunity, most of the time when I'm looking for a trading opportunity, I'm looking for a certain pattern. It's the same thing. Whether it's a 1-minute chart, 2-minute chart, 5-minute chart, 50-minute chart, hourly chart, daily charts, right? I'm looking for the same thing from there. So oil is one of those markets, guys, that could really be quite nicely for futures trading if you do trade the futures markets, okay? So gold has had a move up from here. We've hit resistance, and now we've had a little bit of a short-term pullback. So looking at gold now, gold's having this little bit of a pullback now on this hourly chart. You've got this level through here, as you can see. If we go back to the daily charts now, so that's that level through there. As you can see, it's actually hit it. So once gold, so we've had a move down. So we had this high point through here, and now we've had this high point through here. We've had this move down and move back up. If we can find a bit of support level through here, or maybe like a bit of a support level, and actually break this sort of 1,900 level on gold, then we're probably going to race to new highs, and then gold's going to start to see some fireworks, right? Gold is going to start to see some fireworks. So that's basically that's it with gold, right? We're going to fireworks. What I mean by fireworks is this is probably going to be the start of a really big move. Looking at silver as well too. And silver's just having a bit of a short-term pullback, but silver has now completely changed the the short-term downtrend. Short-term downtrend was coming down through here. Now we're coming back up through here. If we go have a look at that weekly chart. What is that? Get out of there. Get out of there. Oh, there we go. You know what? Let's just do this. Actually, I'll keep that there. So we can see low, higher low, and higher low, and now we're picking back up through here. So silver is one of those markets, guys, that as silver gets a bit of a pullback here, we're probably likely to get, let's actually check out the 52 moving average. Yeah. So what we're probably likely to get is probably get silver, probably maybe even have a bit of a short-term pullback through here. Let's actually see what the 24 is actually doing. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, so looking at this level here, let's take the moving averages off the screen now. I'm just seeing where they are. You see where the moving average is here, there. We don't need that. No need to worry about that anymore. But we definitely do have a good strong area of resistance and support around there. So we're probably going to get a bit more of a short-term pullback out of silver, but then we're probably going to bounce and then start to see a really big move up. The really interesting thing about silver is that once we start to break above this $26 level, so once we start to break above $26 level, then we're probably going to make a move up to new highs from there. So again, this overall could be the start of quite a big move out of silver. So lows, higher lows, and higher lows. So we could start to possibly see that coming out of that silver price through there. So that's a bit of a wrap up there, guys, when it comes to the markets here. But on a big picture scale, guys, on a big picture scale, if I start to look at things like, let's go look at the inflation rate, right? So the inflation rate is coming down through here. And this was all going to happen, right? So what is coming with this? What's coming from now? If we can see, right? If we have a path of what's likely to happen from now through to 2030, if we can see what's going to happen, but we don't know the timing of those things, then we can start to position ourselves to get ready for those things, right? Really simple analysis. So what is likely to happen right now in the markets? Okay, so firstly, we had a spike and then we're having a move down. What's now likely to happen? Firstly, inflation rate's coming down a lot, which was going to happen, right? And now, and again, I can't believe the Fed's going to keep raising rates. Are you serious? That's crazy. It's crazy the Fed's going to do this. It's like, what, don't you see the inflation number coming? It's coming down, right? So, but looking at this level here, what's going to happen? We're going to go through a recession, right? We are going to go through that recession prices. And when we go through the recession, maybe next year, right? Maybe next year, right? I don't believe we're going to go through a recession this year. We might. Some people say we're already in one, whatever, right? So looking at that, looking at the big picture here is that once we go through a recession, then what happens? They start printing money again, right? And they start to push it out to the system and so on and so forth, right? Now, each recession we've had gets bigger and bigger and bigger with the printing press. So therefore, 2008 was that, 2020 was that. So we're probably going to get, much bigger, right? So if I think it's about 5 trillion in COVID, I believe we could get 10 to 15, maybe 20 trillion of printed money coming into the system through 2024. Okay, now we know we're probably going to get that, right? Because history is there's a very, very, very consistent curve with that. Once that happens, then what happens? We go through what? We go through another inflationary spike. Okay? So with that inflationary spike, what happens? Things go boom, right? There's another reflation of asset prices. Very, 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 very simple analysis, right? Very simple analysis. So the greatest buying opportunity, I do believe, is probably going to be close to where we are right now next year, right? Probably after the election, guys. After the election, when the election's won, guess what? We're probably likely to start to see some really, 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 really big moves. Because this election it's really interesting, guys. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think is going to happen with this election, obviously in America. moving forward into next year. It's really fascinating, right? It's like, what's going to happen? Who's going to run? Who's not going to run? Is Trump going to be in? What's going to happen? It's like, I don't think politics have been more exciting than they have in the last probably decade. Anyway, so we can see that's what's going on here, right? So, but remember, history is just repeating itself, guys. That's all it is. It's actually not that difficult. What is the difficult thing? Just being patient, right? Because it takes years for these things to unfold. So if I look at the maximum chart, then we can see the exact same thing happen in the 40s and in the 70s. What was that? Oh, look, we got a boom, we had a bust, then the secondary spike was bigger. Boom, bust, secondary spike is bigger. Boom, bust, secondary spike is probably going to get up to 15% or so coming at the end of the decade. Now, this is where it gets really dangerous. This is where it can get really ugly. When that happens, what's going to happen to interest rates? You think interest rates are high right now? Right? Like, where are the interest rates? Let's actually go to here. So interest rates for the 10-year are where? Around, what's that? 3 point. Let's take it to the screen. Right? 3.8, right? That's where we are right now. In the 10-year, the 30-year is 3.9. Okay? So that's where we are right now. We're probably going to get double that at the end of the decade once we start to see secondary spike, right? If we got what we got right now, secondary spike. So the path ahead is this. We're probably going to still make a nice move this year, but leading into next year, we're going to go through recession. The market's probably going to start to roll over. Things are going to start to roll over, okay? We're going to go into recession. There's going to be a lot of printed money. There's going to be another reflation. From 2025, maybe 2026, we're going to start to see that come into effect. And maybe 2025 that we start to see that come into effect. Then 26, 27, 28, maybe even 29, or it's going to start at, or the reflation, the real big reflation is going to happen in 2026, right? And from that 2026, 2027, 2028, we're probably going to see incredible moves. And then from that secondary spike, the big beneficiary is going to be probably metals and mining sector. They are going to go absolutely crazy. There is going to be so much money being made in this level here, guys. And the reason I'm telling you this is that who cares if the inflation rate is at 15% if you just made a few $1 million, right? It just doesn't matter, right? But what you also want to understand as well too is that if you are leveraging up, and I've got a mate of mine right now, and it's making me cringe to see what he's doing right now, because I can see where we're headed at the end of this decade. And that is, wait till you see the end of this decade where interest rates are going to be. If you're buying property right now and you're not factoring this in, you're going to get run over, okay? Being smart is about seeing what's coming so you can anticipate, so you can plan properly, right? So what's coming? If we get an inflationary second spike of inflation, which is going to come because they're going to print money, it's all baked in the cake, right? You can see what I'm saying through here. With that, with all what I've just said through there, what's going to happen in interest rates are going to go sky high. What's going to happen to property prices then, right? What's going to happen to the government debt back then? That's when it's going to get really dangerous, right? That's when it get really, really, really dangerous. Maybe 2030 to 2035 period, that's probably where I see all that sort of stuff unraveling. But from 2026 to 2030 or 2029 or something like that, 2029, yeah, 2029. I do see some really big moves coming out of it. So from an investment point of view, guys, again, trading opportunities is all about trading the markets, okay? Looking for your pattern, getting in, risk management, so on and so forth, okay? Again, if you do need help with that, first link in the description there, grab that free trading course. I'll give you some free help there. If you do really want some personal help so you can actually, have coaching from me and know exactly what I'm doing and so on and so forth, second link in the description there, guys. Go apply for my Inner Circle program, and then I'll personally call you. To see if you're a good fit for it. So, but guys, if we know what's coming, okay, we can anticipate it and we can be smart about it. So by 2030 comes around, guess what, guys? 2030 will come around, and it's going to be here before you know it. right? So if we can just be smart about what we're doing right now from a trading perspective, but also a long-term investment perspective, 2030 comes around and and people are flinging themselves out of buildings because of what's happening with the inflation rate again. Inflation's going crazy, this, that. You can see all the headlines. You can just see what's going to happen, right? The cause-effect relationship is in motion. And it's already happening right now. And if you guys have been watching me for the last 12 months, you know that I've been saying, hey, we're going to come back down. We have. Then we're going to go through recession. Then they're going to print money. That's pretty much baked in the cake. They're not going to not print money, right? It's like, we just know that's what they're going to do. So when they print money, guess what happens? There's another reflation, and right? They keep going, right? Why do you think, guys, that we have why do you think the Fed now was introduced? Right? July 2020, the Fed now is being introduced. Why? Oh, because you can have instantaneously transactions from banks and da. Yeah. That is true, right? It's instantaneously. Okay, bam, right? Instantaneously. But what's going to happen with that Fed now? Oh, the government is going to do what? It's going to put it into... That's going to allow the government through the system to give you money today. You need money today? Cool. Here you go. Right? So it's a Fed now. It's not a slow process to slowly get it to you. They're setting all this up with the major banks right now. Guess what? So they can start to do the Fed now, and there's going to be instantaneously. All right, okay, cool. We want to have stimulus in people's accounts. Cool. You're going to have it by 5 p.m. this afternoon. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine a world like that? That's what's coming. So it's going to be instantaneously. People are going to have money. It's like, oh crap, we need to start to throw money at this thing, right? And then that's what we're going to see from there. So, again, guys, this is not to alarm you, to alert you, but the first recession that's coming, which is next year, right? That's gonna cause that next big reflation, okay? And we're going to get a secondary spike in the inflationary spike. It's coming. And then you can see the cause-effect relationship of that. Then slowly and surely, probably by 2027, or maybe 28, 29, the inflation rate's going to be out of control, and they're going to start to really jack up the interest rates. There's going to be price controls going to happen through there. This has happened time and time again, guys. It's actually nothing. It's actually quite common it's actually quite common sense when you think about it, right? It's a very, 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 very simple math ahead. And it's recession next year, depression at the end of the decade, or maybe 2030 to 2035 period, somewhere around about there, right? I don't know exactly when, but that's what's coming. Depression, because guess what? That's when can you imagine the government debt being the government debt? How are they gonna? They're having problems right now paying the government debt. How are they gonna do it with interest rates like they're gonna be, right? What's gonna happen to property prices? What's gonna happen to the stock market? There is gonna be a complete free fall in everything, right? That's what's coming long term. Short term, there's gonna be short term pullback, and then boom, where we go again, and then there's gonna be a big collapse, right? And people that are massively over leveraged are going to be destroyed. Now, the benefit, and again, that second in the description there, you can apply for my coaching. The benefit of all this, guys, is guess what? If you know how to trade the markets properly, you can trade the market on the way down. You can make money by shorting these things. So it's not like, oh, market go down bad. No, market go down good, right? I actually personally love crashes in markets. Now, again, what is a crash? A crash is when the market goes down for a period of 8, 12 months, 15 months, right? That's a crash. It's not one bar, right? Let's keep it real here. For me personally, when I was trading, 2008 was up in that point. I actually made a massive leapfrog in my results in trading 2008, because when the market goes down, it goes down quicker, right? So there's going to be many amazing opportunities from an investment point of view. And again, this is all this sort of stuff I'm talking about, guys. I talk about every single week with my Inner Circle program to get them ready as well too. But also looking for really good trading opportunities, both for the long side, but then also when the market does start to really roll over and start to come down, maybe next year, and we really start to go through a big crash, and that really does start to happen, we could take advantage of that, right? And again, it's just knowing what to look for a good investment opportunity, and then also a good trading opportunity as well too. So I hope this helps you out, guys. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about anything I've actually said here, because I've actually said a lot of things about the big picture. and what do you think is going to happen. The real big bang is not coming next year. I think we're going to go through some bad times next year, but that's not going to be the big bang. The real big bang is going to come when we get that next reflation. But that next reflation, guess what? We can take advantage of that by gold, by silver, and so on and so forth. But in the recession, everything is going to pull back as well too. Everything is going to pull back in the recession next year. Stock market, maybe even property prices, gold, silver, all that will have a pullback. But then the reflation, the big reflation that is coming is going to happen from the gold and the silver, and gold and silver in the mining sector is just going to absolutely just go crazy burko. So that's the place where I personally am invested in right now. I'm not invested in many stocks, but my main concentration is metals and miners right now. Because by 2030 that comes around, guys, guess what? It's going to be absolutely just crazy. And there's going to be tens of millions of dollars being made if you just know how to position yourself properly, know what's coming, know we're going to get a pullback soon out of the metal. We're probably going to go for a move up first in gold and silver and so on and so forth. And then we're going to get a pullback and so on and so forth, stuff like that, right? But then on the reflation side, we're going to see that. So all this here, guys, you can see how I'm positioning myself. And then also, again, as I said before, there's so many amazing opportunities that are coming from a trading opportunity. So wrap this thing up, guys. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about what I've said. I've said a lot of stuff in this video here to really give you guys a bit of guidance. Again, guys, if you just do need some free help, I really want some free help, that first link in the description, grab that free trading course. I'm about to take that down. But if you do really want to get intense and in detail and really know exactly the exact strategy I used, the checklist, the scanning process that I use, get coaching from me every single day, go fill out the application form right now, second link in the description. I will personally call you. I'll answer any questions. I'll talk to you, see if you're a good fit. And if you're a good fit, you can come in and then you can basically get access to my Inner Circle program and you can actually trade with me every single day and I can coach you every single day. So go do that right now, guys, and I'll see you very, very soon.